Welcome, Paul.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Welcome to Booze and Banter, everyone. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. And yourself?
I am great.
Yeah.
Day started off slow, but it is picking up and looks to be a beauty here.
Oh, it's a beautiful day out, nice weather. Makes you feel good.
It does make us feel good.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of feeling good, I thought, why not do a little test?
Okay.
We want to.
All right,
I wanted to learn a little more about you and a secret. I don't know if you would call it a hobby, a side gig, a passion project of yours. And then I thought, what better way to learn about you and the passion project than to quiz you randomly on it?
Oh, okay.
Just to put you under the gun, right?
All right. So stuff's starting to make sense. Okay. All right. I got
How
it.
you feel about that?
Okay. I feel great. I'm ready.
I'm not setting you up to fail, and I'm not bitter about the last two volleyball games our teams have played against each other at all. Not upset. Not upset.
You got the better of that one, and
oh no.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. But yes. Here,
Okay.
Paul, the Curious Sommelier.
Hello,
Michael.
everybody.
Maybe we just. I'm going to be Funshire. I really have to work on that paperwork. But let's just call me Michael of Funshire.
I like it.
I'm going to shorten it.
Oh.
For sure. I got nothing. Anyway, I was going to go there and bomb before it even got out of my mouth. But Paul, do you have a connection to Greece?
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little more about it, and then sort of your side gig?
Yeah. So my father's Greek.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know why I'm playing dumb. Of course I knew that.
Yeah. But he moved over here ages and ages ago, and he's very proudly Canadian, but with the Greek heritage. So I didn't grow up as part of the Greek community per se, but we would go back to Greece fairly regularly. Well, not fairly regularly. I mean, I went every 4 or 5 years. I'd go back, and I've always felt a very powerful draw to Greece.
Okay.
And I've always really enjoyed the history. It's one of the things that has made me a sommelier. Is I love the stories behind things, and that's a very Greek thing. Greeks love telling stories.
Home of theater, I believe. We've learned recently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, home of theater. There's so much stuff, and the land itself has this beautiful energy, this beautiful people just there's a quality to the light. People say that, there's a quality to the light, but there's something about the land that imprints on the people, and the people have this joy of living, this sense of history, this sense of connection to the place, and it's really intoxicating.
And I have to say, we talked initially in our first introduction about we kind of met over some wine tastings.
Yeah.
Initially had some junior soccer with our kiddos there, and one of the tastings we went to that was really fascinating for my wife and I was learning about the Greek wines. And you tell the story, and I don't know if we've shared it in our videos yet, but sort of how wine started with the fortification to purify water was actually a kind of a tactical advancement, because you never knew what kind of water you were going to get. But then you sort of exposed us to not all, but a lot of Greek varietals, and we love it. The wine itself is very approachable. I mean, what you've shared, where we get it from, delicious, and just really great food wines, great pairings to some of the other pieces we've talked about, like the Matte and the Jewel. I've drawn a blank on some of the other stuff, but the food, the wine is very versatile to fruit, and it just makes it so approachable. So, please.
The one thing that I find is the foundation of Greek culture, of the Greek people, is the connections you make over food. They're very focused on that, and so
family,
it's a community, that socialization and multi-generation. These are the things that we're discovering.
That would be my better half
an idea.
Looking for her phone.
Oh yeah.
How
about that?
Here, you know what? I'll grab it for her.
Okay.
You keep going.
I'll keep going.
I'll be right back.
We've lost Michael. But here's the thing that it's this social connection over food. And wines from Greece are so focused on making food taste better. So the Matte Jewel, most wines from Greece, if they're authentic wines from Greece, are beautiful on their own, but they really shine with food. And what happens is they make food taste better. They're built that way, and they're designed to sort of have this, they're sort of built to have this ease of approach, which is really fantastic. I also say, like, when it comes to the Greeks, I'm not sure if I mentioned the story. You talked about, wine exists mainly because the water stinks in most places that you get it.
Right.
And so you add a bit of wine to your water, and it helps to reduce the effects of giardia.
Yes, yeah.
It reduces the effect, inhibits the reproductive cycle. And so what you end up with is you're a little bit healthier. So much so that my grandmother, when she was a little girl, she used to, she used to say, you go from breast milk as a child, you go from breast milk to wine and water. So you get a little bit of wine and some water, and then you drink that. And as you get older, there's just more wine and less water. Until you reach this point at a certain age where you say, you know what, I'm not, 2 glasses of wine with lunch slows me down a bit too much. And then you start increasing water again. And so my grandmother, until the day she died, had 2 glasses of wine, crassi, so wine and water with every meal. But you put an ounce of wine and then 4 ounces of water, and that's what she would drink. And that was just her habit. Okay. So that was her habit, that was her tradition, and she just always did it.
Now, cool. We came a little underprepared. I spent all my time with the questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I put a lot of pressure on the questions. I don't know how good they're going to be, but although we lack wine, we make up with ouzo.
Come on.
So if you haven't seen it, our first episode we do proper ouzo tasting. Yes. So if you're ready, I haven't cut you off. Why don't we cheers to this?
Yes.
I'm going to give you a moment to get focused.
Okay.
And we're going to jump in to Greece.
You're going to jump into Greece. Okay. Here we go.
Does that sound good? Cheers.
Yasu. Cheers.
Not lasso.
No.
Yasu.
Okay. Yasu. Yamas.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think I needed that drink, but it hits. It hits great today.
Okay, so you got questions? Okay, let's see what you got here.
I do. So there'll be some true and false, and then I might throw some incorrect numbers at you and see if you think they're accurate or not.
Oh,
so,
okay. All right.
So we'll start true or false.
Okay.
Is Greece the sunniest place in Europe? True or false?
True.
Correct. Boasts over 250 days of sunshine.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, having lived there for 14 months, I can attest to that.
And I've stolen these facts from the Trafalgar site. So if there's any questions about the answers, please take it up with them and not I. I did not go to Greece and I would love to go there for 300 or 250 days of sun. That sounds great.
It's nice. And the quality of the sun there's something about the sun is just, it's just magical. There's so much water and mountains and green and anyway, it's really quite beautiful. Okay.
It's on our travel list, like high for my wife, for Danielle and I want to go check it out, who has thankfully found her phone, which is great. Okay. So islands. More islands than you can count.
Yes.
Do you want to take a guess at the number-ish of, or do you want me to make this multiple choice?
I know the number is extremely high. It all depends on what the size of a piece of rock they'll consider an island.
For everyone you get wrong, you owe me $100, but I will also be a fair judge and give you a margin of error, unless I really want that money, but we'll see.
Okay. I'm going to say, I'm going to start with, I believe that there's over 10,000 islands.
Wow. That's high.
Is it?
Very high, based on Trafalgar's information. Okay, I'll give you a range. Is it over 1,500, over 2,000, over 2,500, over 3,000?
Over 3,000.
I have over 2,000 islands.
All right, there you go. Again, I've heard because, again, it depends on what is an island?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, fair enough.
And is it high tide? I think an island is defined as something that remains at high tide and low tide.
Okay.
So if it's at low tide and it's still there on high tide, then it's qualified as an island. But it depends. Is an island habitable? Anyway, there's a whole bunch of
Well, there's my part 2 to this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Of the islands, of the over 2,000 islands on my report here,
Mm-hmm.
how many are inhabited? And I'll give you a range.
Okay.
Is it between 1 to 200, 2 to 300, 3 to 400, or over 400 of those islands are inhabited?
2 to 300.
Very good. Yeah, 227.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is wild to have all that space.
Yeah.
And I mean, they vary in size, right? Like some of them are just
they're
like
tiny
you
little.
boat to have a picnic on kind of thing.
Exactly.
Lovely.
There's tons of that.
And to the ouzo interrupt. So we show how to make a proper ouzo the Greek way, and it is still delivering. I learned my lesson well from you in that first video. So see, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, this next one's called extremely mountainous. Approximately how mountainous is Greece?
It's very mountainous.
Okay.
It's ridiculously mountainous. In fact, I don't think that there's how mountainous? So like as a what are you looking
like a percentage? Like is it 100%, 50%, 40%? None of those were the right answer, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go with 70.
Very, very good. No billing on that one. 80%.
80%. Yeah. 80%.
Very well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it one of the most mountainous countries in Europe.
Yeah.
Which is impressive considering its location in the ocean. But then, like, you think of I think of Austria, Switzerland, maybe Luxembourg. Like they're all kind of in that mountain, the Alps-ish range there, right? So,
well, a big part of it, like that's one of the reasons why wine is so great out of Greece, because you have water and then it goes straight up to a mountainside, and so you can plant your vineyards at the right altitude so that you get the right diurnal temperature variation. So daytime, nighttime temperature. So it allows winemakers to adjust the altitude of their vineyard to produce different styles of wine. So that's
very advantageous.
Very advantageous. Yeah. There you go. That's cool.
Okay.
All right.
So Greece is to Dick as Richard would be to what? Is that a good clue? So you know how Richard and Dick,
right?
And then there's Greece, but then what's Greece's? I'll say official
real name.
Yeah,
official
what's its real name?
What's the Hellenic Republic?
There you go.
So
yes,
the Greeks call themselves Hellenas.
Okay. Yep.
Hellas is Greece, so Hellas.
Oh no! Right. Yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Your Greek is so good. Developing.
Etsy ketsy.
Tomatoey? I know.
Yeah.
We're not offending any Greek people over there. I'm taking my.
It's a very cool story as to why it's Hellas and Greece.
Okay.
It's known as Greek, but.
Okay, so this one's your trivia question.
Okay, here we go.
This is one we haven't talked about. Okay. I'm a lover of this. I'm a big fan of olive oil. Good olive oil.
Oh, yeah.
Like well-made olive oil. There are some great producers all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, we're talking about Greece. So it ranks here. I have a top 5.
Okay.
Again, based on this research I've done.
Okay.
I did see Greece as low as 5. But on my list, can you name the top 5 or top 3 wine olive oil producers? Yeah.
Okay, top 5?
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5. So
this list has this list has
it's not qualitative. It's not we're talking about the top 5 producers. Is that quality or quantity?
Quantity, yeah.
Quantity. Okay. So
it's a volume.
Right. So you would have Greece, Italy, Spain.
Okay, those are the top 3.
Yes.
That's not the right order, though.
No, it's not the right order.
Okay, but those are top. Okay,
in terms of if you want to order,
do you want to try the order?
I'll give a go at order. I think it's going to be Spain, Italy, Greece, Algeria, and Morocco.
Close. You're in the right continent for your next 2, but they're not right.
Really?
Yeah.
Tangiers and
starts
Egypt?
with a T. It's north.
Tunisia. I'm
Tunisia.
sorry. Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm thinking of yes. So Tunisia. Yes.
Okay.
Huge.
So Tunisia's 4. Yeah. Spain was 1.
Right.
And then Greece I have here second. And then Italy's.
Okay.
Do you want to guess the 5th one?
Do
you want a hint?
Sure.
It's in Europe. It's in Europe.
France? No. Turkey.
West. Go further west.
Portugal?
Yeah. According to the research here, yeah, the top 5 was Spain, Greece, Italy, Tunisia, and Portugal. I also saw Greece ranked as 5th, and one other one I saw recently.
Yeah, I guess.
But still,
it depends. I've had some, like, you know, I should have thought of that. I've had some stunning Portuguese olive oil, like just amazing stuff.
I don't know if I have. I've tasted from the other 4 though, like Greek, Spanish, Italian. I've had all those, and it's interesting the different flavor profile. Again, drawing comparisons back to wine, but the soil and just the different growing climate, everything exactly.
It's amazing stuff.
All beautiful. I was expecting to see sort of my second homeland, if I could be so bold, of Australia on here. They're actually, I don't know if they cracked the top 10. The United States was in there. I forget there were some other ones, but they're one of the top 3 in quality actually. So their production is lower and growing in volume year over year. But they're one of the highest quality producers. And I've had some of their olive oil. Would recommend. Like if you paired it with like Spanish, Italian, Greek, you would have a very similar profile, and you wouldn't think these are like, you wouldn't taste kangaroo or wallaby or I'm never visiting Australia again. That's right. Got awkward fast. I would apologize, but I'm just going to ride this out.
Ride it out,
yeah. Okay. If I said Greece is the birthplace of, what would you finish that sentence with? Now that I've said that, I was like, oh, there's so many answers. But
there are so many answers. Western philosophy is what most people
start with. Interesting. That's a good one. I like that. That's actually where I went after I asked this question, but it's not the answer I'm looking for.
Okay.
No fun on getting this one wrong, by the way. This is a very vague setup because Greece has such history. So
yeah, it's got a ton of history. The birthplace of democracy is also one that.
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Those are the two, like Western philosophy and democracy.
How about if I said something that happened that is wrapping up, has already wrapped up?
Oh, the Olympics.
There you go. Yeah. That's okay. I mean, hey, but all those other things you've mentioned are very valid answers. Yeah.
If you want to get into, there's stuff you could talk about the Western military culture and thought, which is a couple of really good books on that. Anyway,
776 BC, the first Olympia.
First Olympics. Yeah. Held in Olympia.
Yes. I won't fact check. Yes. Sorry, it was so obvious when you said it. It stopped me. I was like, of course. Would make sense. Have I told you I have spent about 200 hours in Greece? Have I ever told you this?
No.
Yeah. I was there when the first Olympiad was happening.
Really?
Yeah, the Greek Odyssey, Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
Running around in my little loincloth, just fighting for Spartan and the Spartans and the Athenians. Horrible reference. I will say, like, it was just beautiful to like.
No, I can't.
Are you
imagine you in a loincloth?
Oh no, trust me. The person running around, way fitter, far more athletic, long hair. Wasn't pulling off this dad bod extraordinaire. Let me tell you, no. Nay, sir. Nay.
I mean, you're a handsome man and all, but I mean, still,
you're very kind. I'll just say thank you.
Yeah.
I'm working on my 40s and taking compliments. It's good. Right. Okay. So I'm really poor at phrasing these questions, but so Greece is surrounded by oceans.
Water, yes.
There are 3: the Ionian, the Mediterranean, and I'm forgetting Aegean. Oh, I should. Okay, I don't know why I thought anyways. Aegean, yes. Yeah. So roughly, what's the distance? Like, how far is any one point from the ocean?
So from on mainland?
Yeah. It just says all I have here is no part of Greece is more than blank kilometers or miles away from the coastline.
Wow. That's a good question. Well, I'll tell you, I always tell people, so I do tours, and when I do these tours, I actually don't go to the islands. I don't take them to the main, because the mainland is just, I always say to everybody, the mainland is one big island, and you're never more than an hour or two from the sea.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful. I love that.
because you're like, and there's always, and that's, to me, that's where it's beautiful. So you jump on a ferry for a day, and then you ferry back, and you're on an island with tons and tons of people, and it's like whatever. Anyway, so the short answer to your question is, I believe that it's probably no more than, say, 200 kilometers.
Close, yeah. 137 kilometers.
137.
Yeah, 85 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, from the coastline. So.
Wow.
And then
that must be as the crow flies, because it's.
I don't know what crows. I don't know enough about the type of crow. Is it a northern, like African crow? Is it like, this is a Monty Python piece I'm trying to mix in here? Get my coconuts and clap along for those. For those who know, you know. Yeah. Which then ties into this next one. So this is a throwback to a conversation, to a video we haven't released yet. So I guess a throw out, because it'll be coming out, down the road. Yeah. But what is one of the, like, what makes sort of the Greek area special? Like, what, if I had to say it had a zone or designation, what's one of the zones it would be classified as?
Like in terms of climate?
Yeah, kind of. It's a quality of life, let's call it. Let's see.
Blue zone.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the whole place is not a blue zone, but like there are places like Ikaria.
That's the one. That's all right. Very good. Yeah. Nice. Now I owe you money. Yeah. It has some of the longest life expectancy in the earth.
In the world.
What's special about Ikaria?
Well, I mean, Ikaria is a tiny little island, and I'm trying to think. I don't think they have motorized vehicles on the island.
Okay.
Well, no, I think they do, but it's not like, it's a small island, but I think they grow their own food. There's not a ton of imported stuff. They live a really clean, healthy life. Like, you grow it, you eat it, kind of.
Right. They're fishing, probably.
And lots of socialization, lots of multi-generational socialization.
Oh, okay.
Which is really a big feature of every blue zone, but I think in this one in particular. Okay. What have you got there?
I got two last questions for you left.
Okay. Well, was there anything else about Ikaria?
No, that was it. I was just asking if you knew, because I didn't have any context here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that makes sense. Like, that's kind of the blue zones are always about eating a balanced diet. It's not really heavy in like fats, like red meats and whatnot. It's a little more organic in the sense that it's natural. Like, it comes from the ocean. You kind of you kind of catch it, you eat it that day. There's not a lot of preservatives.
Right.
Sunshine, exercise. They're not like, it's not a sedentary lifestyle.
No. And everybody in those, that's the other thing I really loved about living in Greece and about the villages. They're really compact. It's really difficult to drive around these villages, and so it's so much easier just to walk, and so you see everybody walking. The houses are quite small. It's one of the things I used to love about Greece, is that you'd see friends getting together, and instead of going into their house and sitting on a couch, you're like, okay, so we want to get together. Well, the house is really small. The family's all kicking around. Let's go for a walk. Oh, and so you see. People walking, and they would walk close together, so that, because it's a small, compact place, but you could talk to each other, and you just walk instead of sitting inside.
Interesting. Okay.
And I love that. I thought that was great.
Very
cool.
Anyway,
there you go.
So I won't give any clue on this.
Okay.
What do the Greeks do instead of birthdays?
Name days.
Yes. Can you elaborate? Do you want to share a little more?
Sure. So
very cool, by the way. You and I talked about this a few weeks ago.
We did talk about this.
Maybe longer, but I thought this was really a very interesting way to celebrate a birthday.
Right. So if you think about it, you're in a village, and there's maybe, let's say there's 600 people in the village. So there's 600 people, and and how do you, but you live quite close to everybody. You know everybody. Right. How do you remember everybody's birthday?
Well, I use my calendar.
I use my calendar, but you think about it, you're like, no. So what they would do is they would say, well, just name yourself after a saint. So we have, in this village of 600 people, say, 1,000 years ago, there would have been, in 600, there probably would have been 15 churches.
Okay.
So some extremely small, some medium-sized, and one or two larger ones.
Okay.
And so what they would do is say, okay, our patron saints are these 15 people. So what you do is you just name your children after one of these saints. So, and there's a naming tradition. So you name the first child after the first son after the grandfather, and then but after that you kind of you open it up. So the idea is that on your name day, on that day, you get everybody who's named Nick, for instance.
Oh, I thought you would have gone with Paul, but sure, yes. Okay.
So every Nick in the village goes down to the Church of St. Nicholas to celebrate that Saint's Day.
Nice.
And then everybody goes down there, and you have a big celebration, a big dance and feast and everything like that. And you celebrate everybody who has their name day. So it's Happy Name Day. And so the bigger the church, the more people are named that person.
Okay.
Because they've got more space for them.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
So name days.
So I shared that with Danielle, and we had very different opinions. I was like, okay, like that could be kind of fun. Like you get all this food, people are dancing. Like an excuse to dance once a year sounds great. But then like I feel like North American, maybe some more Western Europeans, conservative. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of social and fraternization. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but maybe I need to go.
And that's the beauty is that you feel like on your name day, you feel quite special because everybody remembers the name day. Well, it's Saint Athanasios Day. Okay, well, everybody who's Athanasios, Naso, Thanos, Thanasi, all the variants, the Rick Dick thing,
right?
Like all the variations, Richard Dick, Rick, you know what?
Yeah.
So you celebrate. So everybody calls you on your name day. You don't have to remember their birthday, and you go down to this big celebration, and you kind of feel special because it's everybody celebrating Athanasios, for instance. So it's a very practical way to celebrate everybody once a year.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love it. And then how do I want to put this? True or false? We'll go true or false.
All right, let's go true or false.
Greece has more anthropological museums per capita than any other country in the world. True or false?
I'd say true.
Indeed, it is. Yeah. Kind of makes sense, I think, given the longevity, the history.
And the Greek love of history. You can't you stick a shovel in the ground and there's something. And when they were doing the subway system for the Olympics in 2004.
Oh, maybe that's it. It was early 2000s. You're right.
Summer of 2004. Yeah, is that right? Yes. It took them forever because they were trying to dig the tunnels down, and they kept finding water tubes and cemeteries and things. So they ended up just getting like, to heck with it, dig down, move the stuff out, and preserve everything. So you go to the subways, the metro system in Greece, in Athens, and at every train station it's like a museum.
Oh, that would be wild.
It's incredible.
In the best way.
Yeah, you can, and what they did was they just preserved what they found. So we dug this, we cut down, we found this thing, so you can see it. It's just every one of them.
Wow,
it's fantastic.
And bonus points to you. Yes, 2004 was the Summer Olympics in Greece. Yeah. So very good. Cool. There were some other fun facts as well. So we talked about the islands, 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Acropolis, Temple of Apollo. Meteora. Yes, that one. Yeah,
which is beautiful.
Oh, the old town of Corfu. I've heard you talk about Corfu when we did the wine tasting.
Happens to be where my family's from, so I know that place rather well.
Very nice. Greece has a diverse array of wildlife, so there are already over 240 species of birds. Yeah. And then in the winter, over 100,000 birds migrate to the wetlands of Greece each year. And then tourists. What's the tourist to Greece population ratio? Do you remember?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's at least 2 to 1.
Yeah, it's 3 to 1. Yeah,
3 to 1.
Yeah, 33 million tourists visit Greece each year. That's more than triple population. Yeah. So. Yeah. It makes up 20% of Greece's GDP. Look, so much knowledge. Everyone's set for Jeopardy now, as long as there's a Greece category. Yeah, this list I have now has the country has over 120 million olive trees, and is the 5th largest olive oil producer. But the one I had earlier for you had it listed as 3rd, so it's probably all pretty close. Yeah. We talked about theaters, more than 4,000 traditional dances in Greece.
I'm shocked that it's that low.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
That it should, again, the little village that we came from, 600-person village, my family came from, I think there's 3 in that village.
Alone.
And
Yeah.
songs, like, you know, uh, there are I think there's probably about a half dozen unique songs to that village. So, like, it's nuts.
I'm going to give you one bonus question.
Okay, here we go.
Name of the tallest mountain in Greece?
Oh, Mount Olympus.
There you go.
The gods,
Yeah.
There's the Pindus Range, which is the mountain range that goes north-south, has some pretty significant mountains. And at the very south end in the Peloponnesus, there's Taygetos, which is a huge mountain as well. But Mount Olympus is the thing.
Very nice. Well, very well done in your Greek knowledge.
Wow, thank you very much.
Applause.
Thank you so very much.
And this is all handy because you touched on it a little earlier while I was phone searching, but you do tours in Greece.
I do tours of Greece. I take people I take small groups. I sort of maximum 8 people, and I take them off the beaten track, and I want to show them the Greece that I know, with that authentic experience. Mm-hmm. It's elevated because we stay in beautiful places, whether it's a nice mix of sort of really cool, sort of semi-fancy stuff and really nice, authentic, so it's really nice. The food's amazing. And what I really want to do is show people the scenery and the sights and give them a flavor of the real Greece.
And what I liked from one of the stories you shared with me previously is that while everyone's walking up the Acropolis and there's like a 9-hour line or whatever it is, and there's 2 million of the 33 million people are there on a hot day, you're taking people kind of to the sites where they can still see the Acropolis, but like there's some other less busy but like still very I don't want to say cool, that kind of trivializes it, but like some really significant pieces of Greek history that otherwise get overlooked because they're just not the main tourist site.
What I always thank you, because that's actually the best example. So they allow 1,000 people on the Acropolis at any one time. So there's 1,000 people on the Acropolis. There's 1,000 people in line to get to the Acropolis, and there's at least 1,000 people milling about trying to figure out how to get onto the Acropolis. Right? So when you walk up to the entrance to the Acropolis, any time of the year, any time of day, there's 3,000 to 4,000 people just sort of hanging around. So you're one of a horde, right?
Right.
And yes, the Acropolis is beautiful. The site, they're working really hard and they're desperately trying to manage that experience. The area around it's fantastic. But if you go across, like just a 10-minute walk, you go to the area called the Pnyx, Pynx, which is where the Bema is. And the Bema is sort of a carved out little rock that people used to stand up. That's where democracy was born.
That's cool. I would love that.
Somebody would stand on that, and there's a sort of a shaved off area, and they would talk to the citizens and said, "Hey, I've got an idea," right? So this is where all the great orators came and spoke to the people of Athens. Mm-hmm. This is where St. Paul stood and said, "Hey, I've got it. I know about this God that you should hear about." So that's the rock that it stood on. The Acropolis is not democracy. The Bema is democracy. The Acropolis is the result of a dynamic and successful democracy. So you stand in front of the Bema and you look over, the trees cover the new Athens, and you see the Acropolis the way it looked 2,000 years ago. And when you go there, like I've got tons of pictures of me standing there. At the same time, there's 3,000 to 4,000 people lingering, like milling at the Acropolis. Mm-hmm. There's 2 people at the Pnyx. There's 2 people in front of the Bema, and they're like, having a coffee or a couple picnicking over here or whatever.
Right.
And to me, that's exactly what I want to show people. It's like the Acropolis is beautiful. You want to see it, but you want to come over here because this gives you the intimacy, that sense of what was real about ancient Greece. It was a small place. They came up with incredible things.
And I find traveling, I think most people are guilty of it. Maybe not everyone, but I feel like most people are guilty of, like, we kind of like make things bigger. Mm. We sort of modernize the experience. Like, it's going to have this giant space. There should be kind of this wall-like structure or something. Yeah. But then you get to these places from, like ancient Greece, Roman times, wherever you're visiting, and like the experience is it's humbling in a way, because you're like it was so much more. It was so much more focused or smaller, intimate. Intimate's the word. It was just a much more intimate experience than we kind of, I think, experience in a lot of ways now. But like it's just I love getting a taste of that piece of history and seeing that personally.
I mean, perspective. People, if you've traveled a while, you go to Rome. Rome was, with massive monuments and big city and the whole thing. And there's, you got to walk over here. It's a big city. It is what we imagine these historical sites to be. Rome was 1 million people at its height.
Right.
So 1 million people. Ancient Athens at its height was 50,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So people go to Athens thinking, we're going to spend 4 days and explore all the sites of ancient Athens. It's 50,000 people. This is a town.
Right. Yeah.
By our standards, like you can walk around the ancient walls of Athens and see everything inside of it. The in a day. The beauty of the Greek experience is that intimacy. And so you got to go into it thinking, like, when you look at that bema and you look at the area around it, and you're like, that's it? Yeah, that's it. There's 3,000 people used to stand here and listen to somebody speak.
Right.
Or 5,000 people would stand and then take a piece of clay pot and say yes or no and throw it in a pile, and that was it. That's democracy. So what I love about Greece is set your expectations to be that, to have that intimate experience. I love sharing that with people. And when we go to the churches, the Greek churches are much more intimate. They're not like St. Peter's Basilica. They're the beauty of Greek churches, for instance, is that they're very intimate, very personal. The focus was on you feeling connected to God.
Yeah, they're humble. They're there's a word I can't think of. Like,
so,
I mean, St. Paul's in London is and St. Peter's in the Vatican.
Paul's in the Vatican.
They are,
but even Hagia Sophia. I mean, Hagia Sophia in Istanbul is but
they're beautiful. But I mean, it's sometimes that's not what the original intent was of the experience. Like you said, being closer to God. It was we're overusing the word intimacy, but like it was the closeness. It was the collective. Right. And I mean, at 50,000 people, you don't need a church that's going to accommodate as many people as well, right?
Well, and that's 50,000 people, but that's total population. How many people were, anyway, yes. So, there you go. So I do that tour. I'm happy to, if you need some information, we'll put a link in here for you. Thank you very much. I think it's great that people want to go and have a personalized experience. And some of the best trips I've had have been when we didn't stay on the beaten path. We had a bit of a tour guide. Like I've had the chance to be to Rome three times. And the last time the tour guide took us to a church, and they had the chains that had taken Jesus, and then I think it was Peter up to the crucifix when he was captured by, I don't know my theology now. Maybe it was the Romans. Yeah. It was. But like people were praying in front of it. And I like, although I'm not a religious person, I thought it was really interesting to see the chains. It was in quite a church that seemed to kind of appear out of nowhere. It wouldn't have been something I feel like I would have stumbled upon had I not been on the tour. But people were not. It wasn't lined up. It wasn't busy, which was nice. But people were in line to go pray in front of the chains or the cuffs that had held those sacred hands. And it was just it was just a piece I always remember from that trip because of all my time, I just never knew it was there, and it was something out of you don't see every day. Mm-hmm. So, well, at least we don't over here, but we certainly don't.
Yeah. But that's great. Well, there's a little knowledge on Greece, and if you want to find out more, please reach out to Paul, the Curious Sommelier. We'll have like the links in the liner notes, and we'll get back to our ouzo. But that's all we had today for Mr. Funshire over here, the Curious Sommelier. Remember to always have fun and stay curious. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, my friend.
Welcome. Enjoy.